This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Willamina 22. But before that, this video is brought to you by Jay and Mr. Fred 193. Thank you for being farm barons. So Willamina 22 can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now, Willamina has been around in some previous versions of Farm Sim, and it has returned for Farm Sim 22 with a little bit of changes. Now, let's go ahead and read the description and hear about a few of those. Things are different here now. You'll find a paved road from bridge to bridge. There is no fuel cell point. The BGA has been modified to create fuel. One cell point takes everything. There's a working sawmill that has 2.5 times faster production. Dealership, animal dealer, and stone quarry. Major differences in the FS22 version is that we now have a farm. Cows, chickens, a silo, a trailer house, 2 buildings, 1 field, and starting equipment. For that, let's go ahead and load on in. We are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at these maps. They are additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. Let's go ahead and watch the log load on in here. Now, I will say that if you load this map up in Farm Manager or start from scratch, the main farm will be completely barren. You will not have any buildings or equipment, but interesting enough, the fence will remain. So the fence here is permanent. It cannot be removed. That is the only aspect of the farm that cannot be removed, and that is going to be the fence. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. Now, this is predominantly a forestry map, if you couldn't tell by the PDA. We do have all the standard crop types available to us here on Farm Sim 22. So if we want to make this into a forestry map that we then clear the land and actually do farming on, then we do have the ability to grow all the base game crops. If we take a look at our lands area, you'll see we start out by owning the main farm area, as well as a nice little chunk of forest down here, which includes field 1. It is 61.51 acres in size, and basically all of this land is purchased, or should I say owned at the start, $1.5 million basically. So if you start in Farm Manager mode and you buy this section, you're going to have no more money to do any of your buying fleet. You'll have to take out a loan to do any of that. If you start in any other play mode, like start from scratch, you're not going to have enough money to buy this at all. Now, we do have the ability to buy the little bit of forest and the river for $315,000. We have a little plot of land just north of the starting area. It is $1.9 million. There's an area right here that is $880,000. And then we go across the bridge to some big time forestry plots. $4 million, $2.5 million, $1.6, $3 million, and $2.2 million. Let's go ahead and go to the farmland lease screen and take a look at all of the buyable farmlands. You'll see that we own farmland ID 1, which is 24.89 hectares in size and is $1.5 million. Then we have the rest of the available farmlands here and their prices. We will take a quick look at the field calculator and see that the only field that we do own is half of a hectare in size, and it is right there. And then I guess we really don't have much need to take a look at the soil map, given the fact that we just have this little small corner that is the field. We're only going to expose this little bit of the soil map, so we really don't need to take a look at that. But I will tell you that if you play with precision farming, this map is using the generic soil map that is included with the precision farming mod. We do have the standard crop calendar available to us here in Farm Sim 22. And if we take a look at our prices screen, you're going to see that Willamina Sell All is literally going to accept every single product that we could possibly grow, that our animals are going to create, or that we could possibly produce if we put down production. Now, this map does include 2 production areas. That is the sawmill and the biofuel plant, which is basically the BGA. You see, we do have the ability to sell pretty much everything, including stones are going to be sold at the Willamina Sell All point. Start out with a little list of starting equipment. Not a lot going on here, but we do have enough to do some basic farming and forestry. We do have a chicken pasture and cow farm here on the main farm, or chicken and cow pasture on the main farm, but we do not have any animals at the start. There are no contracts because the only field on the map is the one that we own, and we do own the biofuel production facility at the start, and you'll see that the biofuel production facility has the ability to make fuel and all types of other things from all types of various inputs. So we have grass. 200 units of grass are going to make 180 units of energy, 50 units of methane, 60 units of digestate, 20 units of fuel, and 5 units of DEF. Or diesel, yeah, DEF. Potatoes, 100 units of potatoes. It's going to make 90 energy, 30 methane, 30 digestate, 20 fuel, and 5 DEF. We have silage here. 840 is going to make 756 energy, plus 1 methane and 252 digestate. No fuel out of that one. Slurry is going to make 200 units of slurry is going to make 180 units of energy, 50 units of methane, and 60 units of digestate. 200 units of manure is going to make 180 units of energy, 50 units of methane, and 60 units of digestate. 100 units of sugar beet cut is going to make 90 units of energy, 20 units of methane, and 30 units of digestate. Canola is back into the fuel production land. We have 840 units of canola. It's going to make 756 units of energy, 10 units of methane, 252 units of digestate, 100 unit of fuel, and 30 units of DEF. Sunflowers, 200 units of sunflowers, and it's going to make 180 units of energy, 20 units of methane, 60 units of digestate, 100 units of fuel, and 30 units of DEF. Then we have 200 units of corn, which is going to make 180 units of energy, 20 units of methane, 60 units of digestate, 100 units of fuel, and 30 units of DEF. And then we have wood chips, which are going to make 100 units of wood chips, are going to make 90 units of energy, 30 units of methane, 30 units of digestate, 100 units of fuel, and 30 units of DEF. And that is all the production that we have basically on the map, including the sawmill. We do have 20 collectibles on the map, and we are able to collect, as we can see here at the main farm, the game cartridges from Poorboy. So we've got game cartridges here that we're going to be able to collect and earn ourselves a little extra starting cash so we can get out there and start doing some forestry. With that, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. We're going to start out with the medium John Deere 7810 tractor. We have the Dudesfar Topliner 4090H harvester that is paired up with the 4090H harvester grain header, and then the header trailer. We have the 1986 pickup truck, the Welger DK115 trailer, as well as the Diegelman Signature 7200 stone collector. We have the 4000 Super cultivator from Amazon. We also have then the Amazon 3001 Super Power Harrow, and then the matching 3000 Super Seeder from Amazon. We have the Kuhn GMD 4411 side mower, as well as the GA 4731 windrower. We have the VB 3190 brown baler. We have the Anderson M160 log trailer. That includes the ability to pick logs up with the grapple. We have the Hauer XB150 front loader. We have then also the log fork, universal bucket, and bale spike to go on that front loader. We have the Transport Wagon TP500S low loader. And then we have the John Deere 900 kilogram front weight. Again, if we load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, we do not have any equipment at the start. This map does include some custom vehicle mods. We have the Rodney F20D Edit, $250,000. That is going to be our forwarder. We have the H21D Edit for our tree harvester. And we also have the MKS8 and MKS32 that is set up to take fuel, water, liquid fertilizer, herbicide, digestate, fuel, and DEF as far as transporting. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting farm. So we start here. We have our farmhouse with our sleep trigger in the front, our pickup truck. And here past the deer, we are going to locate our chicken coop. This is just standard base game chicken coop. We really don't need to go into too many details as to where the triggers for those are. 30 chickens in that coop. We have our 2 sheds with our log trailer. We have a fuel barrel right here. It is currently empty, so you best be getting on making some fuel in the biofuel plant. We've got our starting equipment. We also get a pallet full of, what is that? That is mineral feed. We have then lime, solid fertilizer, seed, and chicken feed pallets. Around the back, we have our base game silo. And the silo is currently empty. No stored grain in there. Then we have the small base game cow pasture. Again, we don't really need to go into detail as to where all of the triggers are for this. But this will hold you 15 cows. That is our farm tour. Let's go ahead and kind of clear out of the way over here. Across the street is where we're going to find our harvester and harvester heady already set up to harvest a field of canola, which we are then going to be able to immediately make use of over at our biofuel plant in order to start pumping out fuel and various other things. Let's go ahead and get set up for the fly around. We'll fly around kind of the eastern side of the map and just take a look at the western side of the map, because all that's on the western side of the map is going to be forest. All of the points of interest are really over here on the eastern side of the map, and I really don't think we're going to need to do too much of a drive around, because again, the eastern side of the map is where everything is. The western side is completely wild forest. Get a little bit of altitude so we get a little bit kind of a scale as to what we are really looking at here. So there we have our main farm. We have our field, our starting field. The dense forested eastern part of the map. We then have the river, and then wow, we have some major forestry going on over there. First off, let's go here to the south. A little bit of a grassy clearing here. Get some grass mowed for our cows. We have a bridge that's going to take us across the river to the wilds area. You'll see that when we get to this bridge, right, as soon as you get over here, you are in wild forest. There is no road cut through here whatsoever. You're going to have to cut your own way in order to make your path through the western side of the map. And it continues all the way around up to the northern bridge. But what we're going to be interested in is over here on the eastern side. It's right down here at the very southern tip of the eastern side of the map. We have our universal sell point, our Willamina sell all sell point. Tucked here within the woods, we have a little rundown barn with a, well, a floating sell point, so that needs to be fixed. I think you're going to find it a little difficult to drive up onto that. But that is where you're going to be able to sell everything. But yeah, definitely going to need to have that lowered in an update, because there is no way you're going to be able to drive up on that without something really, really big tires. Now, if we're going to head and just kind of follow the river to the north, we'll get to the next set of sell points and other points of interest. To the right, we have our main farm. Oddly enough, we have our header trailer way over here. If you're looking for your header trailer, well, come down here by the river's edge. You're going to find it looks like it may have almost rolled into the river. Let's continue up the river till we get to the biofuel plant. is located right over here. And overall, this is set up as just a standard BGA, but it is going to create other things. So we have our fill point for our digestate. I suspect we're also going to be able to pull our fuel out of there, as well as our def. We have our interactive icon. We have our dump station for our slurry. Then we have our digester station to basically deposit everything else. Then across the main road here, we have our sawmill. So for the sawmill, we have 2 log selling points. This one is just going to be a general log sell point. Right here between these stacks of logs is what you're going to have to pull the trailer up to. Then we have our log sell trigger there. We have our wood chip point. Then around the back, we also have a secondary log sell point. Located right here. We have a interactive icon, our wood sell trigger. And then around the side, we have our plank spawn point. Right there, under the shed. Now we'll continue following the road this time to the north, and we're going to come up to our animal dealer, which is directly to the right. So there we have our animal dealer. And then as we continue to follow the road, we're going to come up to our vehicle workshop. And this is obviously where we're going to be able to buy our vehicles. Maintenance, repainting, repairing, and such. So our maintenance trigger right here. Large trigger area. And then we have our workshop. I'm going to go ahead and get a Mahindra just to see it spawn in here. That way we can see where vehicles spawn in at. We have a pretty large area here for vehicles to spawn in. Shouldn't have any difficulty in spawning in a whole fleet of stuff. And the description said there was a stone quarry. Well, that's going to be located right here. Just north of the vehicle shop. And you might as well get started because, well, you got a whole lot of rock to dig out of here and potentially sell down at the Willamina sell all sell point. So guys, that is going to do us for this map video. Now, let's stop the credits, people. We have some stuff to talk about here. So let's talk about the score. The scoring of this map. So we do have 2 production built in, the sawmill and the biofuel plant. We are going to go ahead and give the map a full point there with respect to that. I do believe that the map does deserve a full point there. We have a whole lot of custom production set up at the biofuel plant, and we do have the ability to put down other production pretty much on any part of the map that we would then go and kind of clear of the forest. With respect to can you sell everything you can create, grow, and animal output? Yes, you can indeed on this map. So we're also going to give the map a full point there. And here, once again, you can see you come right in here to this deep, wild forest. You're going to have a hard time coming in here and basically just driving through here. You're going to have a lot of tree clearing to do. Can the farm be customized? Yes, the main farm can indeed be customized, with the exception of the fencing. I'm not going to deduct anything for the fact that you can't sell the fence. I don't think it's that big of a deal right there by the road. You're not going to be able to do too much right there by the road anyway. So we are going to give the map a full point there. We're also going to give the map a full point with respect to the textures using the new 3D technique. And let's go ahead and look at our ground textures here. We have our standard Farm Sim 22 ground textures. No reason to believe that those ground textures are not going to have the new texturing technique applied to those. And are the player and trigger interactive areas clearly marked? I do believe that they are indeed. So this map is going to get itself a perfect score, 5 out of 5. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be a little frustrated at that because, well, it's a forestry map. It's, quote, simple. But you know what? It covers all of the rating criteria that we are looking at every single map based on. So every map is scored on a level playing field, regardless if it is a forestry map, if it is a farming map, if it is a production map. Let me know what your all's thoughts are down in the comments below with respect to Willamina 22, and will you be bringing out your sawmill and seeing how much of this forest you can clear before you go completely insane. And until next time, happy farming.